about going to the most woke place in Brooklyn, setting up shop?
If you get... I bet it would thrive, though.
Well, we can find out.
There's only one way to do it, dude.
I just love how wearing a mask became like this fucking like soft thing that you were doing, like being courteous.
Bitches.
Being courteous. Why is it for bitches? That was so
You're wearing a
stupid.
mask. First of all,
Oh God, you're so tough with your fucking open nose and throat. Gee, Joe, and your 5 o'clock shadow. This is a man right here. A man doesn't wear a mask.
But there's a video of a guy, not the one punching the kangaroo. It's the greatest. There's a guy like hang gliding, or he's parachuting down, and kangaroos just start chasing him. And they start attacking him. He's like, "Oh, get out of here, fucker!" It's so funny.
Well, Friends was a funny show.
Joe, you were great on Friends.
I wasn't on Friends.
It's a joke.
Women will never understand post-nut syndrome. I do not think
describe
they
post-nut
understand it.
syndrome because this is something exclusive to us.
You have this.
It's like finding out your guy was poor.
This is what it's like. This is how I describe it.
Ever wonder what happens when Joe Rogan, Bill Bur, and Shane Gillis hit peak hilarity? Let's talk crazy ideas, mask debates, and kangaroo brawls you didn't know you needed in your life. In this episode, we will uncover some of the most hilarious moments on the JRE podcast. So stay tuned if you've ever wondered how the American military got high on weed in the Vietnamese jungle a few decades ago. Welcome back to Podcast Crazy. Make sure to hit that like button, subscribe, and join the conversation in the comments below. We want to hear your favorite moments from the Joe Rogan experience and any crazy topics you want us to cover next time. When it comes to cracking jokes, Shane Gillis might be an expert, but sometimes Joe Rogan's overthinking gets in the way. Let's explore the moments where Rogan missed the punchline and the comedians didn't let him forget it.
Right into the jaw. There's a photo of Chandler's foot connected on Tony's face.
It's like a fucking Dali painting.
It's wild.
Yeah.
It's wild to look at, like, what happens to someone's face when a foot impacts their fucking jaw. Just
this.
It's horrible. It's horrible.
Yeah.
Rough sport.
It is a rough sport. I will say this about the cold plunge. I'm still cold.
Yeah, there it is.
Oh, no.
Bro, how crazy is that? I mean, that is a crazy photograph. That's crazy. He looked like he just turned 1,000 years old. like they got him out of a glacier. Like he was frozen in a glacier. I mean, that's a perfect. And look at Chandler's fucking quads. Imagine how much power's in that. Good Lord. Good Lord. Look at his body. He's just a ball of tense muscle just exploding on your face.
Pause.
That sounded a lot more gay than I was trying to make it sound.
Let's be real, after a moment like that, the only thing exploding faster than the joke is Joe's chances of living it down. That's a load no one's wiping off the record anytime soon.
We were on the road in fucking Milwaukee, and he was like, you know what, I'm going to try to find an orgy.
What?
Which is crazy.
Try to find an orgy?
If you knew this guy, it would be even crazier to see this guy being like, I should go to an orgy.
He just said, I'm going to go find it. Who the fuck says that?
So he went on Reddit to Milwaukee's Gone Wild. He
Oh
goes,
my God.
whatever city we're in, he checks out their Gone Wild. And they were like, we're having an orgy at the Days Inn.
For reference, so you know what we're talking about.
Just so you know, that guy was, and then he paid, like, they were like, it's $100 a ticket. He was like, all right, deal. Pays him $100, takes an Uber to the Days Inn in Milwaukee at like 3 a.m. He gets there. He's in the lobby. He's like, hey, can you guys, I'm here. And they're like, we're too busy fucking. We can't let you in. So then, it's just a complete scam. And he gets back to my house. We're in New York. And he's like, he's like, I'm going to message him and be like, give me that fucking money back. So he messages them. And they're like, they must have his location somehow. So he messages them and he's like, hey, you guys fucked me on that. And they're like, actually, we're doing an orgy in Brooklyn tonight. We'll give you half off if you want to come to that.
Oh my God.
It's like, dude, they just keep taking his
He's
money.
so dumb.
They just keep
He's
taking
so
his
dumb
money.
and he's just horny. He's like, yeah, it's worth it.
I could be wrong. They might have got him on a FaceTime. Somebody might have got him on a jacking off on FaceTime.
How'd they do that?
They say that a girl they don't show you who they are. They keep their screen black.
Oh,
You
boy.
whack off, they go,
Oh, boy.
you owe us $5,000 or we're going to release that video. Shout out, Lemaire. I just fucked him. My bad, Lemaire. I love you, dude.
Listen, was it?
Then we've got the now legendary orgy scam. Shane's friend gets conned into paying $100 for an invite, only to be told we're too busy fucking to let you in. Joe's take? Wait, who falls for that? Oh, Joe, sometimes the fun is just in the ridiculousness.
Australia continues to bring the heat.
Doesn't say anything.
Every video they put out is the funniest video you've ever seen.
Wild place, man.
Yeah.
That is a wild place. As many people as in Los Angeles, and it's the size of the United States, and the center of it is filled with death.
It's empty.
It's all death.
Yeah.
It's all things that can kill you. Death.
I talk about it a lot, obviously, but there's a video of a guy, not the one punching the kangaroo. It's the greatest. There's a guy like hang gliding, and he's parachuting down, and kangaroos just start chasing him, and then they start attacking him. He's like, "Oh, get out of here, fucker!" It's so funny.
Well, he's paragliding?
He's just landing a parachute.
Oh, you got it?
Oh, nice. These two dickheads come and attack him.
Oh, my God.
Look at these dickheads.
Kangaroos can fuck you up, too. That's the crazy thing, is people die from kangaroos. So imagine the balls that kangaroos have.
Look at
this guy can fucking fly.
So scary.
And they come in and fuck you up. Wow. And they're grabbing at you. Imagine their balls, though.
Fucking get it.
And finally, the kangaroo chaos, an instant classic. Shane Gillis tells the wildest story of a guy landing from paragliding, only to be greeted by kangaroos charging at him like bouncers outside a club. As Shane's reenacting the guy yelling, "Get out of here, motherfucker!" Joe's sitting there, straight-faced, asking, "But why would a kangaroo attack?" "Oh, I don't know, Joe. Maybe it was late on rent or just having a bad day." While Joe's busy analyzing kangaroo psychology, the rest of us are doubled over picturing a man fighting off angry marsupials mid-flight. It's comedy gold, and Joe's over here treating it like a Nat Geo special.
So I was getting fired. Like, I knew I was getting fired. Because if they didn't get me on that, there's so much more. So much worse. And so he was talking to me, and he was like, "No, we think we can..." He's like, "If we just get you to the first episode, like, people will see you're not a piece of shit person.
Right.
Like, just talk." And I was like, "Whatever, I'll do... If I get fired here, whatever, I'll just go do Joe Rogan next week, and I'll be fine." Anyway, I thought that was funny. No?
What?
I was like, I
Is that what
literally...
you thought?
I literally thought that.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I thought it would be funny.
Well, it could have been funny.
You know that moment when you're halfway through telling a joke and suddenly think, "Oh, no, this might not land"? Shane Gillis knows it too well. He tells Rogan, "I was convinced this bit was gonna crash, but mid-set he realized this could be the one that ruins me. It's like skydiving and remembering you forgot your parachute, except Shane's the guy who would still make you laugh on the way down." Next one on is Theo Von. Straight, or not so straight in this first clip. Theo Von's got that southern charm and wild stories that'll have you laughing and thinking, wait, did that actually happen?
I went fly fishing recently.
Yeah?
Yeah, man.
Did you have a good time?
Yeah, you know what I did? I thought it was like, let me think about what I thought it was like.
It's the more sophisticated way to go fishing.
Yes, it was like, "Hey, excuse me, fish."
Yes. Gentle casts.
Yes. It was like, "Hey."
It also requires a lot more skill.
Well, it requires more patience.
For sure.
You can't like if you have a kid or whatever, you can't do it. Like
Right.
Like if you're just fishing on the bank, you can have your kid and he can be sitting there smoking or whatever your kid likes to do, you know. But if you're in that, you have to constantly be moving it.
Right.
You know, it's very kind of like it's kind of homoerotic almost. It's like,
What?
"Hey, fish,"
Really?
or whatever.
Oh, it's
yeah.
flailing.
Well, it's like, "Hey,
gentle.
fish."
I think so?
Yeah, dude, you haven't seen those guys? It's like, "Hey, fish, I'm over here. I'm over here, boys."
Theo Von turns fly fishing into a comedy act, casting lines and shouting, "I'm over here, boy." Honestly, if fish had ears, they'd be laughing too.
The video, it's on my Instagram, of Tony is on stage in the main room. By the way, Tony goes on stage, it's like Richard Pryor just showed up. Yeah. They were going nuts. He murdered. He has 35 minutes on it.
Oh, yeah.
He's on stage.
About the Puerto Rican joke. And, you know...
No way!
At the same time?
At the same time, yeah.
Just look at this. Here's the slide bar. Okay, he's running against Hillary Clinton. This is simulation for sure.
We're definitely in a simulation.
My God.
So this guy was on Fox talking about Tony on one TV while Tony was on stage on the TV monitor.
That's unbelievable. We did it.
He was so nervous because here's what was going to happen. If he lost, you know, so the way these news organizations work, they have outlines for stories if Kamala wins. They have outlines for stories if Trump wins. If Trump lost, they were going to blame it on Tony. They had stories where they're going to blame it on that joke, and they were going to say that joke turned the tides and made people realize the Trump organization's filled with Nazis and racists, and they were going to blame Tony, and Tony would have been fucked. Because then the Trump supporters would have thought that too.
Right, so it was like both sides would have disliked Tony.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
He would have to go to Puerto Rico or Costa Rica.
Maybe.
When Tony Hinchcliffe takes the stage, it's pure chaos, and not just for the audience. Between his killer set and a surreal split-screen moment where he's roasted live on Fox News, this clip is comedy gold. Tony's nerves through the roof, but the laughs, oh, they're endless. And staying on the topic of politics, let's see how Annie Lederman makes a joke on the JRE podcast, but Joe doesn't get the sarcasm. What do you guys think? Was he serious, or was he trying to make her uncomfortable after pinning her to a wall? Let us know in the comments below.
Joe?
I think people would be upset.
They would be upset.
People
What if
would be
Mario
upset.
Lopez took his spot?
I think people would be very upset. I think they'd be extra upset.
What if Adam Carolla took his spot?
They would get canceled. People would be like, Trump, no!
Is he a Trump supporter?
I think so.
Adam?
I think so. But I don't know listen, I don't know for sure. I don't want to call anyone anything.
I think he's conservative.
I think he is a Trump supporter, though.
Some people get conservative when they start making money, though.
Everyone has the right to be whatever the fuck they are.
Oh, you think?
I think so.
What about Nazis?
They have more of a right. A third right.
I don't think that's right. I think it's something. That's a different word. It sounds
Reich?
like yeah. What does that even mean? What is Third Reich?
I don't know.
I mean, I know what the Third Reich is, but I don't even know what it means. Take a guess. I literally have no idea what that means. I know it means the Nazis, right?
I don't know.
Third Reich, but what does it mean?
In German.
But isn't that a funny thing? Like that's like Third Reich is like everyone knows Nazis,
yeah.
But no one knows what the fuck that means.
The etymology.
Yeah, you with the big words.
I know a few.
What does it mean?
Third regime or empire or third realm.
Huh.
Annie Lederman doesn't hold back, and this clip is no exception. She dives into how people would react if they could hear each other's unfiltered thoughts, and let's just say it's brutally honest. Joe's cracking up, Annie's dropping truth bombs, and it's all a hilarious trip to the third rail of comedy.
I do have my friend who started pegging her boyfriend in my phone as Peg Bundy.
Whoa.
That's her name.
She started pegging her boyfriend.
She got a new
Whose
boyfriend.
idea?
Who wanted to be pegged. His. I think he's gay, honestly.
For
I don't think.
sure.
Listen, if you get pegged, I'm not saying you're gay for sure, but this guy.
This guy,
I think, is gay.
And what does she think?
They broke up. She thinks he's gay.
Oh, Jesus Christ. They broke up. Why did they break up?
He was emotionally unavailable because he's gay.
Wow.
I think he's looking for something with a dick.
So, what was there other signs?
With him that he might be, I don't know. I think that he just was not, maybe he's just an emotionally unavailable guy, but he seemed to have a lot of issues around wanting to get dicks in his ass. So it seems like maybe he needs to try maybe a less plastic one.
Yeah, well, he probably is already trying it, don't you think?
Maybe.
I mean, I don't think he just.
Why would you waste your time with a rubber dick
know.
strapped to a woman if you could just go get?
Maybe Jesus.
Jesus made
some Christian stuff, like you just can't. Can't take the real dick.
Yeah, maybe it's like internalized homophobia.
Probably. Or maybe he's just like transitionary. Like maybe 2 years from now, he'll look back and go, God, I used to make girls fuck me in the ass. I was such a dickhead. Why did I do that? I should have just come out.
Yeah.
Annie really is off the charts. As early as 40 seconds in, she dives straight into a wild story about her friend pegging her boyfriend and questioning his, let's say, preferences. With her sharp wit and fearless humor, Annie explores whether he's just emotionally unavailable or on a whole different journey. It's brutally funny, awkwardly relatable, and as we will soon see, not the only hot topic on the podcast episode.
There's Bigfoot porn.
You get it.
Bigfoot, or I do get it. Bigfoot erotica.
Yeah.
I mean, it's like really common.
What if he had a small dick?
Bigfoot?
Like you always hear about the really
Right.
tall guys with the tiny dicks, and when I say hear about them, you hear about them.
See, look at this. Seduced by Bigfoot.
Ooh.
And ravaged. Look at Come for Bigfoot. Virginia Wade.
Bigfoot
narrated
bitch.
by Lolita Young. Wait a minute. Narrated? You mean this is an audiobook?
You know what they say? The bigger the Bigfoot, the bigger the
Bear in the bones? What is that?
I like a guy with
Bare
a
to the
really
bone.
hairy dick. You know,
Really?
I
Like you like the-
people say. Listen, people say they don't like too much hair on balls. I say get it all the way onto the shaft.
Look at this.
up to the tip.
Boffing Bigfoot? What is happening?
I feel like I know.
I like that her name's Ann L.
Oh, wait. Gay Bigfoot. Look at this. Last row.
Ann L. Probe.
What is gay Bigfoot?
Look, he's smoking a
Last
cigarette
row.
after he fucked.
Look at that.
Oh, right here.
What the fuck?
A mouthful of Sasquatch.
Oh my god! I feel like I've met that man. That looks like one of the door guys at the Comedy Store.
That's one of the door guys that got fired. This is a whole genre of erotica. There's a bunch of women that write these books.
Number 13.
This Virginia Wade lady is she's apparently very prolific with her Bigfoot erotica. She writes quite a few of these. How many does she have?
Well, that was 13. At least 13 come for Bigfoot.
Come for Bigfoot number 13. She just makes shit up. Then there I was walking the dog, and the dog had a heart attack. And next thing, Bigfoot's dick is in my mouth.
How about, I have a good pun. Harry and the Hummersons. Henderson.
Don't think
Harry and the.
think it out loud, and then just.
I was sounding it out. I can't read. Everyone leave me alone. What'd you expect me to come on and be fucking smart?
Into the wild world of Bigfoot erotica. Yeah, you heard that right. With titles like Come for Bigfoot. She drops a pun about Harry and the Hendersons. And here we go. Joe either didn't get it or just didn't want to. Meanwhile, Annie's cracking up, and Joe's stuck over analyzing.
Jokes. I did a show in PA a couple days ago, or a couple nights ago, and I did a couple wheelchair jokes about people in wheelchairs, making fun of them. And I get off stage, and I'm selling merch, and this lady rolls up in a wheelchair. And I was like, oh, shit. I didn't see her the whole show. And I was like, oh, fuck, this is going to be bad. Oh, man. And she was like, I loved it. I love the wheelchair stuff. Thank you. Everybody treats me like an idiot. And I was like, oh, thank God. And, then I pushed her down some stairs.
In the strip in Vegas a long time ago, and my Chuck Taylors on the cement, so walking like 30, 40 minutes, started to melt. It started to feel like I stepped in gum on both shoes.
Whoa. Really?
Yeah, too hot.
Holy shit. Tarantino can get away with shit that no one can get away
A
with.
lot of foot stuff.
He's in feet.
I always want to know. I've been asking on stage. I'm like, are you guys at one of these or one of these? Which way do you? Where
does
do you
that
put
mean?
it? Like, do you go through the toe?
Oh,
or
do you
go
fuck the
between?
toes? Does
Like,
guys
what?
fuck the toes?
I
or
don't
they
know.
fuck the
I'm just
feet?
trying to learn about it. I'm trying to be curious.
Some
instead
guys
of
are into foot
shaming.
jobs, right? Where
Yeah.
the girl like rubs their feet. That's got to be exhausting on your hamstrings and calves.
But maybe good for you. Got to work on that core. If
I
you're
bet it
using
would-
your core, you're fine.
I bet it'd be really good if you're lying on your back and you got your feet up in the air.
Dude, this is like Pilates.
And you're doing this. Like this is
you
hard
did it like
to do.
100 or whatever from Pilates.
If you're jerking off a guy like this. And so they've resumed construction of the border wall. I don't know if
Yeah.
you know that. So this this administration was like, we're not going to do what the past administration did. Like, yeah, you are.
But is this
Yeah, you are.
wall going to
Everybody's
be
done it.
huge?
Is it-
Huge?
Is it going to be
Did
the
that-
same
that
wall?
land?
Look at this.
And after this short intermezzo, let's jump right back into some podcast guests and how they make Joe either laugh or just stare blankly. What do you guys think of these jokes? Are they worth a laugh or are they a bit too much? Is Joe acting like the neighborhood Karen?
I
a
know.
living.
We're so
Instead-
lucky. It's such a beautiful thing. And why would you ruin it by getting mad at a guy who said retard? Like, this
Yeah.
is your life? And also, like 4 million sperm didn't make it. You made it. And this is how you're going to spend it? On Twitter? tweeting and twatting.
A lot of people are unhappy, man, and
But
Twitter is a
that's
magnifying
normal.
glass for that.
People are normally unhappy. I mean, we went to the Crusades and the Depression and, Vietnam, Civil Rights, whatever. I was just, everybody's unhappy. We're all going through shit. Just weird to attack and pile on. Like, why would you make more shit?
Well, it's just, it hasn't been explained to some people, or they have a different opinion of it than we do. Like, there's a lot of people that say things that I don't like, but I don't have time. And comics that say things that I just don't think are very funny. I don't have time. I'm not, and I have no inclination whatsoever. I have no desire to go shit on their act. I just don't.
That's crazy. It's
crazy.
They're trying. At least they're trying.
Bro, it's a weird thing, and sometimes it takes people forever to figure out how to do it right.
Well, some people just, if you don't have it, you don't have it.
That's true too.
That no one wants to mention. That's another part about comedy that's tough. Is no one ever goes, you know what? You suck. Yeah, I know you're mad at everybody. I know you hate the business. You hate funny, successful people, but you're just not good. They go, hey, it's because I'm this. It's because I'm that. But also, have you heard any laughs? Isn't that weird when a comic gets off stage and it was a complete bomb? They're like, all right, what are we doing after? I'm like, you don't hate yourself right now? I would be in the bathroom shitting my brains out crying. I never got that. Like, you should be upset. You should be at least thinking about it.
In this segment, Joe and Mark hilariously dive into the bizarre world of punching up and punching down in comedy. Mark dismisses the idea entirely, saying it's all play fighting, while Joe skewers social media critics, calling them unfunny experts. The two crack up over how comedy gets dissected by people who clearly don't understand it. The pair highlight the absurdity of imposing rules on comedy, proving once again that overanalyzing jokes kill the very thing that makes them funny. Forcing rules on humor is like saying you can only tell a fat joke if you're fat. The next clip we are about to see touches on cancel culture because of edgy jokes. So stay tuned to find out more about Joe's opinion on the topic.
So, like, we love you, we're going to give you a big ovation, but that shit ain't funny.
Yeah, we need material.
I need
we
something.
need real shit.
Yeah.
Yeah. They need real things. You would watch guys come to the store that were like big TV stars, and they would go on stage, Kramer, and they would go on stage, and
he's got great material.
Immediately, the audience would love that they're there.
Yeah.
And then they would realize after a while, like, you can't just take 10 years off or whatever you've done and just jump on stage with no act and hope your charisma is going to get you through it when you're following Bill Bur and Ali Wong and whoever the fuck else is up there murdering it. Like, you have to have an act, man.
Yeah.
Doesn't matter how famous you are.
I agree.
Seinfeld, as famous as he is, as beloved as he is, he's got 30 seconds.
Yep.
He walks in that club, ladies and gentlemen, please welcome Jerry Seinfeld. Holy shit, we're gonna get to see Jerry Seinfeld. This is amazing. This is great. Wow, what a great surprise guest.
Yeah, and then
it wears off, and then he's got to do the work.
He's got to kill it. Yeah. It's like when a hot girl tells a story. Everybody's like, "Oh, look at this lady talking. Wow, she's a looker." And then you're like, "This story fucking sucks."
This story sucks.
But she's probably been pampered her whole life and told her, everybody says, "You're great, you're hot."
That's the saddest thing in the world. A really hot girl with boring stories.
Oh, man, I think that's L.A.
People have been lying to you forever. Yeah. Well, that's the thing, right? That's why when you run into a hot girl who's really smart and is a great conversationalist,
you're in Canada at that point because they don't have that here. I mean, come on. You meet a smoking hot lady and she's like, I have an engineering degree and I invented this conveyor belt and I got it patented. You're like, what?
Yeah,
I'm in Montreal.
At Children's Hospital, a surgeon. You're like, what are you saying?
Right. Not here.
Yeah, that's hilarious.
Yeah,
it's true. Well, not it may be here, not L.A.
Yeah, that's the whole thing about it. The Instagram ladies, the hot ass models and all that. I'm like, what are you going to do when you're
50?
51, yeah.
Be the hot, older Instagram model.
I guess. But isn't that also weird? Like, feminists must hate them because it's all like, don't objectify and all that. I'm like, well, that's what she's putting out there. So what do I do here?
Here's the problem with feminism.
Oh, boy.
This is a problem.
Okay.
That's a woman, too.
Mm-hmm.
That's her choice. That's her choice to do it. No man is looking at bodybuilders and saying, like, a guy who's like got big muscles and lifts weights online. No man is looking at him saying, what you're doing is bad for masculinity.
Right.
What you're doing is bad for men.
We don't give a shit.
Yeah, we don't care.
I'm trying to get my stuff going.
If you have like CrossFit exercises on your Instagram page and you're doing cleans and presses, and men don't look at that and going, oh, you're getting attention for that. You know how bad that is for masculinity.
Right.
You know how bad that is for the opinion that women have of us. They already already look at us like we're meathead idiots.
Right.
And this is what you're going to fill your page with? Squats? Really? Really?
Yeah.
Do better.
Right. I hate to do better. But
Right.
yeah, that's true. The future is female. Well, tell that to Ellen Page.
What goes back to that? It's Elliot, you dead
Sorry.
naming piece of shit.
Sorry. Oh, I
Fuck is wrong
forgot
with
that was
you?
a thing. There's a name for everything now.
Yeah. That's a fun time.
Yeah.
It's a fun time to be offended.
But
In this stretch, Joe and Mark dive into the absurdity of performative outrage in comedy. Mark pokes fun at comedians, tweeting, "We love you," to score points with the mob, joking about how it's all about chasing approval. Joe adds how these same comics admit behind closed doors that they don't even believe the stuff they post. The two comedians peel back the curtain, exposing the hypocrisy while passionately defending the freedom to push boundaries and embrace humor's messy, unfiltered side. It's a sharp, funny take on the contradictions within comedy and the culture of needing to please everyone. And next one up on the stage of comedy in the Rogan studio is Ari Shaffir, well known for his tendency to push the limits of acceptable jokes. Will he make Joe double take them, or will he get the vibe check from the podcast king himself?
Time to shave your head now, huh?
Yeah, I like it. What?
It's better, right?
It's
Enough.
smoother and it's easier.
Yes.
Yeah.
So much better.
Yeah.
Imagine going to a barbershop now.
God took care of a lot of it.
God took care of it.
Yeah.
Yes, God cursed you. Too much scalp.
I want it back.
Do you?
I really want to do a mohawk correctly.
Oh.
And I want it for a little bit. Remember how much fun I'd have with my hair?
Well, you could do stuff with your hair to get it back that's not as dangerous as the
Staples?
No. There's ways. There's a guy named Derek. He's got a website called More Plates, More Dates, and he talks a lot about hormone optimization, all kinds of stuff, but also recovering hair loss. And there's a bunch of different things you can do. There's topical shampoos that remove DHT from the scalp that help bring your hair back.
But it'll get back?
I don't know, man. You're pretty far gone.
There's this Amazonian treatment for it.
Amazonian?
Yeah, Ungarawa.
Ooh.
And then I found this lady who was like, there's a lot of fake shit on the market there. Ooh, can I curse on this? And I'm so sorry. Drop. I'm sorry, I won't do it again.
That's hilarious.
And so she could smell it and tell, that's real. Like, oh, no way. That's got a lot of corn oil. And I was like, to this botanist guy, I was like, will it work? And he was like, yes. And then he looks up and he goes, unless you're too far gone, then it will not work. But he goes, none of those people in the Amazon have hair loss.
Really?
And that's why. Yeah, all those fucking, we talked about all those.
Mostly it's genetic, though.
Yeah.
Yeah, mostly it's genetic. If a lot of people in the Amazon don't have it, I doubt it's because they're all rubbing leaves on their head.
I get what you're saying.
Joe Rogan brings up hair loss remedies, but Ari Shaffir and the gang can't help cracking jokes. From Amazonian treatments to genetics, it's all laughs and rubs when they try to discover if Amazonian leaves are really the way out of a bald head.
Edibles get pretty psychedelic at high doses when you're closing your eyes and it's dark out.
They just bury me.
Yeah, but when you close your eyes,
Yeah.
you see wild shit.
Then you start seeing stuff.
Yeah, I remember I was on a plane once and I saw these neon cartoons fucking. It was just all these neon cartoons just fucking and making more neon cartoons. They would just constantly make, but they were like neon, like really bright. And I remember
humanoid.
Yeah, it was sort of humanoid, but kind of. Some of them were like Goofy or Donald Duck. Ish, just like cartoonish. But they were all trying to fuck.
Wow.
And they were all like made out of neon. They were almost like. No, well, I was awake, yeah, but I had my eyes completely closed. I was obliterated.
Yeah.
Obliterated.
It's the only way to fly.
I was just closing my eyes and I was just watching these things happen. They were just almost like fractal. Like they were giving birth and making new cartoons and fucking each other.
Damn.
Yeah, it was wild.
Oh, I've never had that on edibles. That's cool.
Blasted. I was so blasted. I think that was one of the trips with Joey where he would give you those Chiba Chews and you didn't know what you're doing.
You don't know what you're doing.
Until halfway in, you're like,
see
oh
him
my
smiling
God,
and you're like, fuck.
I can't get out of this.
Yeah. Oh, you can't get out of it.
Yeah. And his ability to absorb them is insane. It's just so stunning how much he can put in his body and tolerate.
He's like, I saw him the other day. He's like, I barely even do any edibles more. I get high on I forgot the number he gave me, 100 milligrams. I'm like, that's massive still.
Yeah.
That's way more than anyone.
100 milligrams is a good dose.
People take 5. People take 30. And people, that's like
Yeah.
a pro. You're on you're on Dabs level.
My favorite thing to do with air travel is 200 milligram dose.
Damn.
Because it's just, if you know you got to be in
If
a
your
plane for
tolerance is
6
there.
hours.
Yeah.
If you know you got to be in a plane for 6 hours, you know you could just curl up in that chair and just be obliterated for 5 hours.
The old breast strip days would get me 25. Would get me that for 6 hours.
Those were so inconsistent.
Yeah, they were. Sometimes they would get you nothing.
And sometimes you'd be fucked.
Yeah.
You never knew.
Yeah.
You never knew.
It sounds like you cannot smoke LSD.
Interesting.
What can you lace weed with?
Fentanyl, I've heard of a lot.
Hell yeah, I'm a huge fentanyl fan now. Then.
PCP.
Oh, maybe that.
But like they would have had to spray it on there or something.
I bet you had PCP.
I don't know how
that
you would
makes
have done
sense.
that.
Do you know that PCP is essentially the same thing as ketamine?
Oh.
Yeah, I didn't know that.
Interesting. I wouldn't know that. No.
Dr. Carl Hart explained that to me. Wild, right?
Yeah.
Would never think. Well, like PCP is the crazy drug. You run through walls and fight
Yeah,
the
right?
cops.
Yeah, jump out of a building and get right back up.
Yeah, you don't give a fuck. Run through a glass window.
Well, they mislabel a lot of drugs sometimes where they're like, this guy was on like, they had marijuana system. Like, no. It was bath salts. Or they call it something and you're like, you find out later what it actually is because they're too much of a nerd to actually know there's a new drug in the market.
The bath salt.
And now we have Joe Rogan when he recounts his wild edible trips. Literally trips since he got high on high altitude. Ari Shafir and the crew can't resist poking fun. As Rogan earnestly describes neon cartoons and trippy visuals, the others crack jokes, turning his serious storytelling into a comedy roast. What about you guys? Do you think that Joe felt the ridicule behind Ari's questions, or was he too into the story to see behind the scenes? And finally, the last one of today's video. Bill Bur, the master of ranting about life's absurdities, from marriage to muffins, with the charisma of a grumpy uncle who secretly loves you. Let's see what he has to offer in his episode on the JRE.
I don't know if that's a woman or her friend, but that girl's got balls. Or ovaries.
I like the
Courage.
little skip step, too, like a cornerback.
Well, he's running at the guy with the camera and knocks him over.
The man achieved his goal, okay? As much as you don't approve of what he was doing.
He achieved his goal. No, she's still got the paper
I
in
know,
her hand.
I'm joking.
He grabbed her arm. Whatever happened to that guy?
Charges.
I don't know, but they're promoting my movie right there.
Look at that. King of Staten Island. What are the odds? On demand everywhere Friday.
Joe Rogan tries to make a serious point, but Bill Burr swoops in with a perfectly timed roast, leaving everyone cracking up. Rogan's laughter says it all. This back and forth is the perfect way to wrap up a conversation that's equal parts insightful and hilarious. Classic Burr, classic Rogan, and a perfect ending. That's a wrap for today's video. From kangaroo chaos to comedians taking shots at Joe Rogan for missing the joke, we've highlighted some of the funniest moments from the JRE podcast. Whether it's Bill Burr's sharp wit, Ari Shafir's non-stop teasing, or Theo Von's wild stories, the laughs keep coming when Rogan's in the mix with these comedy greats. What was your favorite part? Do you think Joe finally got the joke, or is he still overthinking it? Let us know in the comments. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and share this video with your friends. Thanks for watching Podcast Crazy, and we'll see you next time. Keep laughing, stay curious, and remember, the best jokes are often the ones you don't see coming.
When I was in high school, well, not high school, I guess it was in grade school. So what is 11? What grade is that?
Depends on
Fifth
how
grade?
smart you are, really.
Grade, yeah.
Fifth grade? Yeah, depends on how smart you are.
He first showed me his documents. Great. That's hard evidence. So I know, and it's hard to accept some of that, but I'm not going to exclude it. Like I didn't exclude Bob. I wanted to find out the truth. I'm not going to exclude it. Investigate the unknown.
So there might be some scary
What is he doing? He's going to get that bird feeder?
He's going to unscrew the bird feeder.
He's doing whatever he
Oh my
wants, bro.
God!
Hind
Look how
legs.
smart he is, dude. This is insane.
Oh,
look how
dude.
smart this thing is. But also, look how confident it is in its strength.
And look at him looking over at the camera. He knows he's being filmed, dude.
Yeah, and look how he's. Yeah, I don't think he knows that. But look how good he is at climbing up.
I don't know what the hell is happening.
Look at this. And is that
Look
a
at
fake
his-
China person or something?
Look at his fucking ability to just hang on there with one arm and then grab with his feet. That is bananas.
Audience judges the whole thing, and they're like, "Be edgy. We saw your act. We like it." And I go, "Great." And an African queen is walking on, like she's like a big headdress black lady, and I go, "Hey, watch that whip around the African." And I swear to God, the cameras just went, "Doo," like the whole thing shut down. I felt like the power went out. And I was like, "Well, that was weird." And they fired me right after.
It actually cuts Joe pretty deep.
Building's blown outward.
Whoa.
Like it's blown out. Now, I'm obviously not a bomb expert, but I talked to one.
You should see your act.
He can't stop himself.
All right. Keep going. Need some levity.
If you look at, it did need levity. If you look at the images of the building, if you look at the images of, I'm not a bomb. You're an animal. You're an animal. You can't be stopped.
Jack Ranger.
But,
it's crazy.
But